It is day 9. I took a 0 in town yesterday after a big, long 33-mile day. Hiked about 18 miles out of town and set up my tent just in time for it to start raining. It seems to have let up a bit, so I'm going to eat my dinner and read my book and go to sleep. It is day 10 and I have just realized that I've walked about 3 miles on the wrong trail. Basically, I took the Gila alternate to get down to the Gila River, and instead I jumped off at a turning point that was taking me back to the official CDT. So, turning around, about 2 hours of hiking that is going to mean nothing by the end of the day. More frustrating than I could put into words right now, but going back, and tonight, if I can make it the 25 miles from where I camped last night, there's a hot springs, so I can drown my frustrations in hot water. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of the end of day 10. We are, I finally made it back to the trail. Oh, you know what? This is going to be deep. I'm going to get back to you. It's day 10. It's crazy windy. Came from right over there, and this part was really, really deep. So I ended up here where you can at least see the bottom. So, and now I have to find the trail again. It is day 11. I did not make it to the hot springs last night. We had to do like 50 river crossings. It took much longer than I expected. We got into a little post store called Doc Campbell's where I got new shoes. And now headed off again. I just walked about a mile up this trail, thought that I was lost, so turned around and hiked a mile back. Figured out I was not lost. So yeah, headed back out, getting to some hot springs for the afternoon, and then probably hiking out a little bit after that. It is day 12, and I'm struggling a bit today. For the past 2 days, I haven't gotten nearly as far as I need to go. Just because I keep getting lost. It seems like every day, at least once. And it just kills your timing. Woke up early this morning and it's freezing. The sun hasn't hit us yet in the canyon. And what do you want to do when it's freezing? Walk through freezing cold water. I can barely feel my fingers. My feet, the lower half of my legs are long gone. I'm also dealing with some pretty bad infections. I have one on the bottom of my foot from a blister that I popped. One pretty bad one on my finger from a splinter that I couldn't get out, and one on my shoulder from my pack rubbing and then just not being able to keep those wounds clean. So everything hurts or is numb or is freezing cold, and I can't find the trail. But I'm in the backcountry And this is what I love to do. And I'm just going to keep telling myself that until things turn around. It is day 12, and it's truly amazing how things can turn around with just little things. I was having an absolutely terrible day, probably my worst morning on trail yet. On the verge of tears, just very unhappy, and I ran into Hob, who just turned my whole day around. He's just an incredible human. He hiked the Appalachian Trail in 1974 and the PCT in 1976 with his wife, and basically since then they've just been doing incredible things. They've biked across the US 7 different times. They biked from the Arctic Circle down to the very tip of Africa. They hiked the Appalachian Trail another 2 times, and now he's out here, and his wife was supposed to come too. It's the first time that they've had an adventure like this apart, but she hurt her knee, so he's out here alone and just kind of laid out what it was like to truly live life through different adventures and how to make it happen, and you know, what's important and what you want. Basically the life that I would like to live. So just hiked with him for about 4 hours, and it was awesome time. Unfortunately, we only hiked about 5 miles, so he kept stopping to talk, and we also ran into our first rattlesnake, huge rattlesnake. I was very grateful that he was there, because if he wasn't, I probably would have been moving a little faster and probably would have been about 2 feet closer before I realized it was there. So very thankful for that. It is day 13 and definitely the coldest night and morning we've had on trail yet. I can't even remember the last time I had to wear every single item of clothing I have, let alone wearing them while hiking. So it's fucking cold out here, but the sun is out. Feeling much better than yesterday, and we're getting out of the Gila today, back onto the CDT by tonight, and yeah, hopefully putting in some good miles today. It is day 14. It's another very cold morning, and I got lost again, like always. About 45 minutes off trail, but now we're like on top of the world, it seems. We've been climbing. I've been kind of zigzagging back and forth over the trail because it's not marked and there's no path until now, which is very nice. I will get down to some water in a little bit, and then have about 9 more miles left to go. I did about 32 yesterday, and I'm trying to do that same thing today. So we will see if my body can handle it. It is day 15. We are 2 weeks down, and around the late 300s in mileage. It's weird with all the different alternates to really figure it out. I am road walking all day today. I slept on the road last night and have about, I think, 35 miles into town. Again, it's really hard to tell because there's not really a specific trail. There's a bunch of different ways you can go, and so it's, you know, pick your poison. I think I have 35 miles, hoping to get there before the cafe closes. So I can get some food, because I have none in my backpack. We will see.